So me and my girlfriend just got back from watching The Black Phone 2, and I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed this film. Now, I am a huge fan of The Black Phone 1. You can see my review for that. It's already up on, done on my channel. But my girlfriend actually isn't even a big fan of that one at all. We even watched it last night, just to kind of refresh her on it. I've seen it like almost 4 times this year already. She's not a big fan of that one. I'm a huge fan of the first one. When I heard about this sequel coming out, I was not excited. I was actually kind of frustrated because that would have been a perfect standalone film, and instead we got a sequel, which I don't think was needed at all. However, now that I've seen the film, and before going into it, hearing all the buzz coming out of Fantastic Fest, how if you were a huge fan of the first one, you're not going to like the second one, but if you weren't a fan of the first one, you're going to love the second one. Also hearing that it takes huge inspirations from A Nightmare on Elm Street, my favorite slasher franchise ever made. And I'm starving for a new one. That was, it grabbed me. And I don't watch trailers, especially Blumhouse trailers, because they ruin the entire movie. They literally show you the entire movie. So I basically went into this movie blind, only knowing its inspiration, and knowing that the same cast basically came back, and that the grabber is dead and has come back. That's all I knew going into this movie, and that's all I needed. I was sold. So before I get into my review, if you are new here and you like what you see at the end of this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All of you, please share this video with all of your friends. Show me some algorithm love. That really helps me out. And the way these reviews work is I give you what I thought was great about the film, what I thought was I was kind of on it, and towards the end I'll give you what I did not like really at all. Now, on this one, I have 2 pretty big negatives. And one of them I would have to kind of get spoilerish about. So I'll give my biggest negative first at the end, and then I'll give a spoiler warning, and then we'll go from there. Starting off with the positives, I absolutely love Madeline McGraw and what she does with her character of Gwen. Gwen is an absolute standout in this movie. She's basically the main character. How in the first one we follow Mason Thames and his character Finney. Now in this one we're kind of following mainly Gwen, and I adore that character. I love Madeline McGraw and what she does with that character. Her acting is phenomenal. By far the best actor to cry on screen. Crying is normally either overdone or very annoying in my opinion, and she does it phenomenally and very realistically. So does Mason Thames. Like, they're both great at that, and what she brings to this film is no less than fantastic in my opinion. And also, people who I've heard didn't like the film, they have no negatives towards her either. So that just is kind of more of an objective thing, that Madeline McGraw is just a great actress, and I can't wait to see what she does. What they do with her character is really interesting. I have no negatives with her character. The way when we're following her throughout the movie, what we go through, and how bringing in the Nightmare on Elm Street aspects with her character, perfect. For me, perfect. Couldn't get no better. Mason Thames, again, like I said, a big fan of his. Said it in my last review too, and he's just as good, if not better, in this. Obviously, his acting chops have gotten way better too. He's way more believable in this one as well. It's not necessarily like kid acting. He's a man now. So I really enjoyed seeing this darker side of him. He's more meaner. He's kind of a dickhead. He's really trying hard to forget what happened in the first film. And then he's got like confrontation issues that he's kind of working through. It's his character arc. And I enjoyed that part of the film as well. That was done really well, especially with the performance from Mason Thames. And also the writing was really great. Scott Derrickson and his writing partner, I forget his name, but they do a really good job with his writing partner kind of doing most of the writing from what I've heard. Building these characters out, and then Scott Derrickson as a director being able to bring that story to life. They're really great partners in that, especially with, like, not sure if they're partners on Sinister, but Scott Derrickson as a director with Sinister, being able to bring that out, those certain things out of those characters. The way that he films this movie is phenomenal. I mean, I absolutely love Scott Derrickson and the way he works the camera. I mean, every single thing, the angles he uses. There's some Sam Raimi influences there. There's my girlfriend even mentioned the editing style that he uses in this film. It was really captivating and compelling to watch this movie, and of course seeing all the classic Scott Derrickson signatures like the 8mm filter where it looks very grainy, especially when Gwen goes into the nightmare sequences. It is a very grainy shot, and it's, again, he started it in Sinister, he carried it over into Black Phone, and now he's carrying it over in part 2. Also, Ethan Hawke as the Grabber. He gives just as good as a performance as he did in the first film. He's way more creepier in this one. The practical effects that they use for him, some CGI, but it's really hard to determine which is which on whether it's practical or CGI for most of it. Not necessarily towards the end, but for most of it, it is kind of hard to pick which one is which. So there's a really good blend of that, especially with the special effects. The way he is more maniacal in this one, how he has a line where he's talking to Gwen at a certain point and they're talking about hell. That's all I'm going to say because I'm not going to spoil it. But what he brings to that scene is really, really creepy and eerie. There's also some really good jump scares in this movie too. They go balls to the walls with it. Now, the dad. The dad was a huge negative for me in the last film. In this film, they completely redeem him. Everything that I think was an issue in the first one was 100% fixed in this one. That's why I always say sequels can either ruin or make the previous film better. Remakes can't touch them. This film definitely makes the first film better. The first film went from like a 4.5, 4.75 for me to honestly now damn near a 5 out of 5 film for me. Honestly, I'm being so serious. It made every single problem in that because now I have something to continue like the dad's arc that I had and continue that into this one and it be redeemed. I love that. And one more is that I forget his name, but the guy who plays Robin in the first film, he actually came back to play Robin's little brother in this film, and I can only assume that it's probably because the character of Robin and that actor did such a great job and so well loved by audiences in that first film that they just had to bring him back somehow and just bring some humanity almost to the plot, and I really loved what that actor did as well. Now moving into my mixed, and really the only thing I have to say that is mixed is there are certain characters brought into this film that aren't utilized and could have honestly been taken out of the film completely, and it wouldn't have really hurt it a whole lot. When you see the film, you may know what I'm talking about. I might even get more spoilerific with this. I'm doing a live stream with Ken Sledge October 21st, which would be this Tuesday for his favorite film, Back to the Future. We're also going to be kind of hitting on the Black Phone too, so we might even talk about it there if you want to hear more of my thoughts on what I mean in my mix aspect. But yeah, they bring in some characters that I think weren't utilized correctly and weren't what the characters do bring, I feel like was kind of pointless, but it doesn't affect it a whole lot. I see what they were trying to do, and I guess that's why it's in my mix, because it doesn't affect me a whole lot, but it did a little bit. Also, the inspirations that they pull from, which being not a Nightmare on Elm Street and being like a little bit of Stranger Things, I really loved what they did. But there were certain points where it went from like inspiration to damn near copy and paste. And I could have done without a couple of parts, but it's not a huge thing. That's why it's in my mixed. Now, moving on to my negatives, like I said in the beginning, I have two big negatives, and that is going to be the second one I'll get into in just a minute, and spoiler, but the first one being the pacing. The pacing, to me, I feel like kind of picking up where I left off in my mix with the characters that came in that I feel like weren't utilized correctly, that they could have chopped them out and chopped up a couple of pieces and taken it out of the film. You could have knocked off maybe 10, 20 minutes off this movie, and it would have been damn near perfect. It would have been a perfect runtime. Now, the movie's only an hour and 54 minutes, minus the credits, maybe an hour and 40 or hour 45. It's not very long, but it takes a while to get to certain things. It's almost the middle of the second act before things kind of pick up and things get really exciting. And that is pretty much all I have to say for my spoiler-free thoughts. So As of right now, my overall thoughts is it's a really good sequel. I think I honestly might like it just as much as I like the first film. And I'm probably just going to give this maybe, I mean, I really don't care for a number system, honestly, but I'm probably going to give it like maybe a 4 out of 5. My girlfriend really enjoyed it too. She even liked it more than the first film, and she also gave it a 4 out of 5. It's so fun. There's some really great jump scares, great direction, great editing, great performances all around. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, and you are a little bit interested, please go see it. Go see it and make your own opinions. I'm not here to tell you whether you should or shouldn't see a movie. I'm just here to tell you my experience, and that is what I got from it. Now we're going to be getting more into my spoiler thoughts. So I've already given you my entire review for this movie, spoiler free. So if you don't want to get spoiled, please leave now. You already have my recommendation to go see this movie. It's really great. Going into my last final negative and into more in depth of what I thought about it is going to be the fact that there are no kills in this movie. Now, there are kills technically, but there's not. Meaning the only kills that we get in this film is a past tense like premonition kill of like these 3 boys that are buried underneath the frozen lake. The grabber killed 7 years prior or whatever. But that's all we get. No one else in this movie dies. Not Gwen, not Finney, not any of the counselors, not Mondo, the guy running the camp, not the dad. There's several times where they do get into a position where they're fixing to die, and then they're immediately saved. And I thought that was really cheap, and someone should have died. And there was a moment where I thought Gwen was going to die. Again, this is a spoiler, so there's a moment where she's like in the phone booth, and the cord wraps around her neck, and then the grabber like spins her, and she flips, and she's spinning. There's blood everywhere, where I kind of forgot her arm got cut. That's where the blood came from. But I thought she died. No, she was fine. Also, the movie kind of fights with its own rules where, like, there's, she's getting hurt clearly in her dreams. If she gets hurt in dreams, she gets hurt in real life. But yet, in her dream, when she falls asleep, she goes underneath the water for, like, freaking 5 minutes. Huh? That's really all the problems I have with the movie. So like I said earlier, if you have seen it, please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. You can follow me on all of my social medias. They'll all be linked down in the description below. As I mentioned before, I'm still doing the live stream October 21st, Tuesday, around 5:30, 6:30 p.m. with Ken Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror. I'll put his link down in the description below. I hope you enjoy watching this video just as much as I enjoy making it for you, and I'll see you next time.